pretty hard with some of those winds. Glen Mills, Delaware County. And Kelsey, you showed us before some of the damage that's been left behind. It's pretty significant.
Yes, it is significant, Nick. To be honest, some damage is an understatement. There is a lot of damage, especially to this one neighborhood. It's called Cobblestone at Thornbury. And here in this development, we showed you what it looked like at the entrance of the development earlier in the last live hit. But once you get into the development, it is a completely different story. But we actually have Delaware County Emergency Services Director with us this morning. This is Timothy Boyce. Him and his crews are out here assessing the damage this morning. Timothy, tell us what we're looking at here. These homes have significant damage.
Yeah, Delaware County really took a hit last night. The thunderstorms rolled in about 11:30. About midnight, we received the tornado warnings. Our 911 center lit up with hundreds of calls for services. The most devastating damage is here in Thornbury, where at least 6 to 8 houses have probably been destroyed.
And tell us a little bit about this house. This has a really scary story for the people who lived inside.
Yeah, this is really what we're looking at. In this home, we believe that the gentleman was in his bed. The storm hit. He reported that the ceiling fell on top of him on his bed. And as you can see, the front of the house is just blown out and the back is taken away as well.
And now I know you've been kind of going around the neighborhood and surveying. How many homes would you say have damage that's considerable like this?
We believe about 6 or 8 homes are probably destroyed from the storm. This one is being one, and all the ones, frankly, right around us here, with at least 24 reporting significant damage over about a half-mile area.
Yeah, we want to walk up this way. I know you got a flashlight for us to kind of show us. We'll show you damage.
Debris in the street.
Yeah, to this home across the street. So I know you said you did take people to shelters as well. Tell us, do you know how many families that you needed to provide that service to?
We took about 15 families to the shelter. This whole neighborhood and others in the community have lost power and the like. So they're at the Glen Mills schools, and we took them and their pets here this morning.
I know you said Weather Service, National Weather Service is definitely going to do some surveying here later today because this does look like it possibly could have been a tornado. But as far as the cleanup for your crews, what does your day look like ahead?
Well, the fire departments, I really want to credit our volunteer fire companies who came into the neighborhood. They cut trees to get into the neighborhood. They went in the homes and they got people out. They're the real heroes here. The county's here now. We're going to do a damage assessment as the sun comes up. We're going to try and capture how many homes are mildly damaged, significantly damaged, and then start providing resources for the residents. People are obviously displaced. They've lost their medicines. They lost their phones. They came out in the middle of the night in their pajamas and their pets. So that'll be the next phase. See how many houses we can get back into or have to be condemned. So we'll be working with the local authorities, but we want to make sure that we understand the scope of this and focus on the human aspect.
So you've got a long day, probably a long couple of days ahead of you.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. I know you got a lot of work to do, so we'll let you go. But Nick and Dimitri, that just goes to show you how much damage is here just in this one neighborhood. He told me earlier it's about a half mile that they're really seeing all this destruction. But as I said, the National Weather Service is expected to at least have a conference call to see if they need to come out because they are going to be checking this out to see if it was a possible tornado. But we're going to stay out here and we'll keep bringing you all the latest on this damage.
You would think, Kelsey, that they need to see